sensitivities.com, and first of all, I just want to say I'm so sorry that I haven't made very many videos this week. I have been just thrown off with my schedule and working on a ton of projects, doing things personal life, all the usual things when life gets in the way. But I want you to know that I've been meaning to do a video every single day. I haven't really had a lot of inspiration to do a video like this, but I have been working on editing a video that's taking me forever, and just due to time and lack of energy, it's been harder for me to complete. But anyways, enough with the excuses. I just wanted to check in with you, and I realized that there are some things that I could say that might inspire and give you some ideas on how you can make some healthy changes in your own life. But first of all, I also wanted to thank you all for some great comments that I received on my last few videos about living consciously, and some of the feedback I had received in the dual videos. If you haven't checked those out yet, you'll see what I mean. But thank you all so much. And I've also received some really sweet emails and comments on Facebook lately that have just been so moving. So I just always want to let you guys know how much you mean to me and how much you inspire me as well. Also, I checked the form that you can fill out with the link down below where you can ask questions pretty much every day, and I've got a lot in there, but a lot of the questions that I've been asked have been kind of complex, so it's hard for me to answer off the top of my head. So just to let you know, I've received the questions for those of you who have asked, and they will be on their way. Probably just be a few weeks when they start trickling in. Anyways, today's video I thought could be really inspiring to you because it actually gave me some perspective on the decisions that we make, especially when it comes to food. I, for those of you who don't know, have gluten sensitivities and soy sensitivities, and I also try to eat a really whole foods, plant-based diet that's low in oil, salt, and sugar, because those are ideally really great for your health, but just getting the full nutritional benefit out of whole foods that aren't overly processed and overly additives and things on them. I just want to enjoy the food as it is and as simply as possible. But every once in a while, I want to indulge in some comfort food or something. And lately, my biggest comfort food is right over here in this food court is Loving Hut. And Loving Hut, for those of you who don't know, is this chain of vegan restaurants that's mainly like Asian-oriented food. And it's really good, but I wouldn't call their food healthy. To me, it's comfort food. It's fast food. Most of their locations have the food already prepared, and you can just come right in and get a quick meal, inexpensive meal under $10. And it's fantastic that there are these vegan options there, but I notice that as soon as I'm done eating their food, I start feeling a little bit of bloated, my stomach gets upset, and oftentimes I'll get like itchy skin and scalp, which are to me indications that there's ingredients in there that my body doesn't really like. But I'll still eat it anyways, because it's like my comfort food. It's the easy option. So what can you learn from this? Well, first of all, I'm sure all of you can relate, because we all have those types of foods that we know our body doesn't react to very well, but we still eat anyways. But you also might be able to relate if you've been trying to go vegan and you've been struggling with it because of comfort foods. And it's really hard to give up foods that we like, even if we know that it's not good for our body, good for the planet, or good for anyone else in the world. And for those of us who are already vegan, we can't imagine what it's like to still eat meat, knowing what happens in the industry. But how is it any different than me eating a plate of food, knowing what it does to my body? I still know that I'm not doing something good, but I'm doing it anyways. And that might be a little bit of stretch. I think, obviously, eating animals or animal-based foods is definitely more extreme and has more consequences, but it's that still same mindset of it's challenging to get out of your habits. So for me, it's all about being prepared. I didn't think far ahead about what I was going to eat today, and thus the first thing that came to mind, I knew that was quick and easy and I was going to like, was Loving Hut. Actually, behind me is this really great place, the soup place, and I usually go here. This has been my switchover place. I've been slowly going there because they have organic, vegan, gluten-free soups, which my body loves. But because if I'm not thinking ahead of time about what I'm going to eat, I'll often start to crave the easier food, whereas switching to a new food isn't as appealing to me because I wasn't planning on it, I wasn't anticipating it. So planning ahead makes a huge difference, even just getting yourself in that mental state. Also, sometimes it's giving yourself options. Maybe I'm not in the mood for soup, and Loving Hut seems appealing because I don't know of anything else. So for me, it's like thinking about all the other options around me so that as soon as I'm hungry, as soon as I have an opportunity to eat, I can just go think of it, look at a list and say, these are the healthy options. I'm going to have one of these instead of the less healthy option. So whenever you have an opportunity, I really recommend making an actual list or maybe even just a mental list of restaurants, places where you can get food in your area, around your workplace, any place that you go to on a regular basis, so you always know where you can go. So at those moments of time where you're stressed, exhausted, super hungry, you don't even have to think about it, you have those options in hand. There are tons of great applications that are helpful, but as a vegan, especially if you're more oriented towards the organic life or the gluten-free life, looking up those options can be really time-consuming and not something that you're going to want to do when you're stressed or hungry. And even me, who spends a lot of time researching, I'll just give up and come to a place like Loving Hut sometimes. So I too need to really learn from these lessons. So those are really the big takeaways I can have, but also just to be patient for yourself. I don't beat myself up. I know that my body's not going to feel great after eating Loving Hut, and not to bash Loving Hut at all. It's just personally it doesn't work for me. So I kind of have to deal with the consequences. It's just kind of a reminder. Some of us might need to deal with the mental, emotional consequences or consequences from people that are disappointed in us for making certain decisions. But ultimately it comes down to what you want to do and whether or not you're doing the best, and always being really conscious about decisions, food or otherwise. This might not even have anything to do with food. It might be an environmental decision. Maybe you still buy bottled water, which I'm so against, but at the same time I know most people have a really hard time transitioning to that. So they just need to be conscious, they just need to continue reminding themselves to bring a reusable container, and eventually they'll switch over and it'll be easy. Just as one day I probably won't even want Loving Hut anymore. So I hope you can benefit from those examples, and thanks so much as always for watching. Of course, stay tuned. I've got a bunch of videos on the horizon answering your questions and also profiling some of the amazing people that I've met lately. The one that I'm working on right now, I'm so excited to share with you guys. I also have some incredible reviews coming up, and of course my new website, so stay tuned, lots more. Thank you all for your support. Don't forget to subscribe so you know when I have a new video, and you can also follow me on all the social networks, which are down below. And as I mentioned before, it really helps me out when you ask questions via the form, which is also down below. If you click on that link, you can ask me your questions. It'll go into my database and I can get to it as soon as possible. That's it for now. I will see you next time. Bye.